Most people assume that if a food is on the store shelf, it is perfectly safe. But the truth is, there are varieties of dairy so hazardous they have sparked international bans and even police raids. Today, we're not raiding, but uncovering 5 of the most dangerous cheeses in the world, and some of them are even banned. Number 5. Casu Marzu. We have to start with the worst of dangerous dairy, a cheese so controversial that it is officially illegal to sell in its home country. Casu Marzu is a Sardinian sheep's milk cheese that takes fermentation to a level that sounds like a horror movie. While we usually look for postbiotics to help our gut, Casu Marzu relies on live insect larvae, specifically the Pyophila casei or cheese fly. The process is intentionally disgusting by design. The cheese is left outside with the top removed to invite flies to lay their eggs. As the eggs hatch, the maggots eat through the cheese, their digestive enzymes breaking down the fats into a liquid-like texture called lacrima, or tears to be exact. This extreme decomposition creates a flavor so intense it is described as a burning sensation on the tongue, but the real danger lies in the larvae themselves. These maggots are capable of jumping up to 6 inches when disturbed, but the biological risk is even scarier. If you eat the cheese while the larvae are alive, they can survive your stomach acid. Once they enter your intestines, they can hook into your stomach lining, causing a condition called intestinal myiasis. This leads to severe abdominal pain, vomiting, and bloody diarrhea. While some locals consider it an aphrodisiac, the science is clear. This is a biological gamble that no one, especially those over 60 with more sensitive digestive tracts, should ever take. While Casu Marzu is a rare mountain delicacy, our next dangerous cheese is a silent killer hiding in plain sight at your local grocery store. Number 4. Milbenkäse. Deep in the German village of Wörschwitz, there is a dairy tradition that challenges every modern standard of clean food. Milbenkäse, or mite cheese, isn't just aged by time. It is actively consumed and transformed by hundreds of thousands of microscopic organisms. Unlike traditional cheeses that use rennet or bacteria, this variety is placed in wooden boxes and covered with rye flour and cheese mites, medically called Tyrophagus casei. Over several months, these mites feast on the cheese, and their digestive enzymes, along with their tiny droppings, create a flavor that is described as zesty and lemon-like. From a scientific perspective, this is a biological factory on a molecular level. While the mites are necessary for the flavor profile, they represent a significant risk for anyone with a maturing immune system. Our respiratory health is a top priority, and Milbenkäse can act as a massive trigger for asthma and skin allergies. The dust found on the rind is actually a concentrated layer of mite excrement and shed skins. While enthusiasts claim that mites provide a vibrant boost to the gut, the reality is that ingesting live parasites and their waste can lead to anaphylactic reactions in sensitive individuals. It is a nightmare for those of us trying to keep our internal systems free from unnecessary inflammatory triggers. In many parts of the world, this is considered a contaminated product rather than a delicacy, making it a forbidden gamble for the health-conscious senior. While the mites of Germany thrive on the surface, our next cheese hides its danger in a salt-soaked rind. Number 3. Vieux Lille. In the north of France, there is a cheese so pungent it has earned the nickname Gris du Lille, or the Stinking Lille. Vieux Lille is a variant of Maroilles that undergoes a much more intense ripening process. It is soaked in a heavy brine for 3 months, creating a gray, slimy rind and an aroma that many describes as fetid or decomposing. This isn't just a sensory challenge, it is a cardiovascular red flag. As we reach our 60s and 70s, our kidneys become less efficient at processing excess salt, and Vieux Lille is a literal sodium bomb. The science behind this stinker involves a specific washed rind technique. By repeatedly washing the cheese in salt water, cheesemakers encourage the growth of Brevibacterium linens. While these bacteria create the iconic smell, the high moisture and the high salt environment can also mask the presence of more dangerous pathogens. For a senior with high blood pressure, A single serving of this cheese can provide more than the daily recommended limit of sodium, leading to immediate water retention and unnecessary strain on the heart. Furthermore, the strong odor can make it nearly impossible to tell if the cheese has actually gone bad and crossed the line from aged to toxic. It is a prime example of a nightmare food that trades long-term heart health for a brief, intense flavor experience that we simply cannot afford to risk. The salt of Lille is intense, but the creamy liquid center of our next entry poses a different biological threat. Number 2. Epoisses. Often cited as Napoleon's favorite dairy indulgence, Epoisses de Bourgogne is a cheese so famously smelly that it is reportedly banned from public transport in France. But the smell is the least of our worries. This is a soft-ripened raw milk cheese that is washed in Marc de Bourgogne, a potent pomace brandy. The result is a cheese that is so runny and creamy it must be eaten with a spoon. From a microbiological standpoint, this liquid state is a warning sign. High moisture content combined with low acidity creates the ultimate petri dish for Listeria monocytogenes. For those of us focusing on longevity and muscle maintenance, we need clean protein sources that support our bodies without introducing biological invaders. Epoisses is a high-risk gamble because Listeria is a silent killer that thrives in the exact cool, damp locations where this cheese is aged. Because our stomach acid production naturally declines as we age, we have less of a firewall to kill off these bacteria before they enter our bloodstream. A single bad batch of Epoisses could lead to severe neurological complications or systemic infections that a younger person might fight off with ease. In many countries, the authentic raw milk version of Epoisses is heavily restricted or banned for import because the risk-to-reward ratio is simply too high for vulnerable populations. It is a luxurious cream that hides a potential medical emergency behind its orange-tinted rind. From the creamy risks of Burgundy, we travel back to the dark, wild caves where natural mold becomes a hazard. Number 1. Cueva de Cabrales. Unlike Roquefort or Gorgonzola, where the mold is often carefully injected in a laboratory setting, traditional Cabrales is aged in natural limestone caves where the penicillium molds are wild and uncontrolled. This wild fermentation creates a blue cheese that is significantly more intense, acidic, and biologically unpredictable. The science of wild mold is a double-edged sword. While it creates deep, complex flavors, it also carries the risk of mycotoxins, toxic compounds produced by fungi that can lead to acute poisoning or long-term organ damage. In the damp, unmonitored environment of a mountain cave, other nightmare molds can grow alongside the blue veins, contaminating the cheese with substances that are not intended for human consumption. Because it is made from a raw blend of cow, goat, and sheep milk, it carries the triple risk of unpasteurized pathogens. These high-intensity molds can be incredibly taxing on the liver and digestive system. We want to support our gut with good bacteria, not overwhelm it with wild, aggressive fungi that haven't been screened for safety. Cueva de Cabrales is a masterpiece of tradition, but in the world of modern health and longevity, it remains one of the most dangerous and frequently restricted dairy products on the planet. Now, a question for you. Have you ever had a bad experience with a soft, unpasteurized dairy product? Let us know in the comment section down below, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.